Hey everybody, welcome to episode 10. Let's get this stuff out of the way. These are 6x48 Norton brand new sanding belts. These are, I think they're both, now they got a 60 grit and an 80 grit. These are probably aluminum oxide. This is a whole case. Well, I don't know if it's full or not. Metal cutoff wheels, 7 1/8 by 5/8. This will probably fit that Kalamazoo saw that I bought that was featured in way back when in like episode 1 or whatever. So they're made in Japan, manufactured for Bay State Abrasives of Westboro, Massachusetts. All right. Also picked up this little Ace hardware utility pump, 950 gallons per hour. I haven't tested it yet. It is used, but I just threw it in with a lot. And then this box of grinding wheels that I haven't really checked. Just basically all the grinding wheels that I found laying around various areas, I grabbed and put them all together in a lot. For the most part, I already showed you a couple of small diamond ones that were elsewhere. There's a for angle grinder. All right, there's a wheel there that might fit on the because it's got that pattern there. That might fit on the Hammond. Oh, that's a Norton. This is almost like a buffing wheel. It's kind of hard substance. There's a cup style grinding wheel. Oh, this looks like another one of those adapters. Maybe. I don't know. Some small discs, skinny ones, more little cutoff wheels. There's another. I don't know what that's made out of. Kratex. Huh. There's a miscellaneous drill bit. There's this tool, which I'm not sure what this fits. It's got two different size Allen wrenches on it and a large Allen wrench on the end here. So it's a three-way Allen tool for something. I don't know what. That's a brand new wheel, as is that one. These all look brand new. These are Radiac abrasive wheels. That's an older Norton one. And this looks like it might be a diamond wheel, very thin one. Yeah, that's a diamond, made in the USA. All I can make out is at the top of the diamond logo is ASA. So that's a really thin diamond wheel. Huh. While we're looking at the subject of abrasives, I found these two bags in this box. This is cerium oxide, 99.9% pure, from a company called Arrowhead Lapidary Supply. So I figured this is for use with those lapping plates, and since now I have more than one lapping plate, I figured I might as well grab this stuff because he was just going to throw it out. This is a bigger bag, more coarse obviously. This is 30 mesh silicon carbide grit. So I don't know what it costs to buy this stuff, but I got it for free. So let's try and bang through one or two of these box slots, and then we'll conclude part 10. Just a hunk of aluminum, another bag of these drill bits. There's only two left in that envelope. Oh, a box for hollow punch set. I do have that. I think that's in another box. Just a bag of screws. I think this is all hardware mostly. Yeah, this is mostly just a box of cap screws. But I mean, if you go to buy these, you know, how much you're going to pay individually, I basically got these for next to nothing. Also, washers. You know, kind of think that that's all. This is all hardware. Let me just show you something else real quick. This tray was up on a shelf, and it's loaded with all these coated 5/8 washers and a bunch of nuts. So This is to be screwed to the inside of a wooden cabinet. It's got adjustable shelf stop. I got one of these and a bunch of these, so not very useful. But I just grabbed that just like that. Even something like this little shelf, this was hanging near where I found that tray of nuts and bolts. I spotted the shelf and I was like, oh, you know, if you don't want that, I'll take that. And you know, it's stainless, and that'll hook onto the edge of another shelf depending on how you get it set up. And it's the perfect thing to put like your sponges and stuff like that on, to let them just drip back into the sink, because it's stainless, so it's not going to rust on you. Alright, so all that was in this little bin was the hollow point punch set made in China. This is judging by the, yeah, it's Pittsburgh Tools, so that's a Harbor Freight deal there. You know, I've got several of these in different sizes in the good old steel, but what's nice about these are it's a complete set, so I'll probably keep that. These are great for punching out holes when you're making gaskets, when you need to make your own gasket, like for an old tractor float bowl or something like that. Always comes in handy. And what's the rest of this is just this big bag full of these big cap screws, bolts. You know, imagine what just one of those is going to cost you. Here's a whole bag of them. This next box is just a mix of stuff that I kept picking up here and there. Like initially, I only found 2 or 3 of these feet. These are really nice, vibration isolating and leveling feet. These things say they could take 300 to 600 kilograms. These, I can't quite make out this name of this company. It's got a duck or a swan for a logo. It looks like it says Igana. But there's what looks more like a MSC type of part number or something here. 23809414442. These say 700 to 1200 pounds. Machinery mounts. So those might come in handy. I think they might not be sturdy enough for the Hendy lathe, because that would have been nice to have been able to use those under the Hendy lathe and keep some of that vibration from transferring to the concrete slab floor. These tend to get kind of expensive, so full set of those, that's nice. Here's a couple of used QO breakers, 20 amp. I assume they're used. Well, they might not be. These actually look like these may not have been used at all. And what's nice about these is that I've got that QO sub panel I'm going to be installing in the shop. And the rest of what's in this box are these neoprene leveling feet. So this is one out of the package put together, so I guess that's what it looks like when you take it out of the kit. There's some larger ones here. They say 600 pound neoprene mount. I guess some of these probably bolts that were in there go with these. I got, looks like a few of these big ones. I got at least 4 of these big ones, which is good. And then these smaller ones are 250 pounds. And I have exactly 4 of those. So that's great too. Again, nice usable set of leveling feet for some piece of equipment down the road. Don't know what. Maybe under a grinder, who knows. And for the final item in part 10 here is this little piece of eye candy. Initially I didn't pay much attention to this because it was over with some of the lab equipment, but then when I spotted that other piece that I showed earlier on was a Mitutoyo measuring device, I took a harder look at this thing and I decided to scoff it. And it's a Sony. It's got a whole lot of digits here, and it's LED. No power supply as of yet. Oh, this only uses a regular D-type plug. Okay, that's right. Yeah, I can grab one of these easy enough. So I grabbed this thing, and I realized this is some sort of measuring device. I don't know what. And then it's got an LY51, which must be the model number, so that's going to be easy enough to look up. And then later, digging in a completely different area of the basement, I came across this, and saw that this said Sony and remembered this thing and thought, aha. So lo and behold, if you look at this weird opening right here, which I was worried that there was some sort of a card or something that went in there to enable this thing and make it work, turns out, no, that's actually the input. This unit right here, which is a DE12BR, Sony Precision Technology, this looks like it plugs right in there like that. And what this is I believe this is a precision measuring device, not unlike a comparator. So I have no idea whether or not this is going to do anything, but let's grab a plug and see what happens. Well, okay, something's wrong. D error. Something cap. Oh, well, maybe that's normal when you first power it up. I don't know. I just hit the reset button and everything's zeroed. So I just looked up online, and this is actually a Sony unit from the MagnaScale series, which is kind of interesting because I actually saw a video of a guy using one of these with a Sony MagnaScale, which a scale is, you know, kind of like what you would use for showing the position of a table on a machine, like a DRO, and that it's a 2-axis. So I thought because it was only one digital display up here that it was a single axis, but apparently this is for one axis and this is for the other, and then I think one of these buttons probably toggles the main display up here to which axis you're going to actually be reading in the big display. Maybe, I'm not sure. There's a mode, there's all kinds of stuff here. So it begs the question, could you use this as a DRO? Because I don't have, I mean, I've got that crusty old DRO I've been messing around with. I never did finish that because, you know, one channel is bad on it. But I think I may have answered my own question, because then when I actually looked for Sony MagnaScales, the few that come up on eBay are very expensive. They're new old stock or whatever. So anyways, this thing's extra sensitive, isn't it? And by rights, I guess it should be. So let me hold this vertical so gravity is actually working on it. Reset this again. So I don't know what kind of think of it. I'm not even sure what that's in. Is that in millimeters maybe? Because that's certainly not an inch there. All right, hold on. Let's see. Try this mode switch. That looks more like maybe inches there. Let's see. Nope. Oh. Oh. All right. Clearly, I should have an owner's manual and a clue as to what I'm doing. But the good news to me is that this thing actually appears to be working. Lights up, no smoke coming out of it. So this is where I'm going to end part 10.